flu deaths have soared by 77% in just a week in England. Government figures reveal as fears of the worst outbreak in 50 years loom large. Public Health England data also shows the killer virus has left 1,938 in hospital since October, a quarter because of Aussie flu, and half from Japanese flu. The latest update, released today, states 85 people have lost their lives to flu already this winter, compared to the previous total of 48 recorded last week. This is adding extra pressure onto an already stretched NHS, which is considered to be in the midst of its worst winter on record. Health bosses have blamed the rapidly escalating cases of flu for their controversial decision to cancel 55,000 operations last week, a move also made by French officials as the European country battles an epidemic. Experts fear the dreaded Aussie flu is more severe than the swine flu pandemic of 2009, which killed nearly 300,000 people across the world. Mother's heartache as her 18-year-old daughter dies from flu. An 18-year-old girl has become the tragic victim of the flu, her heartbroken mother has revealed. Bethany Walker, from Applecross, died after taking ill at home, initially from flu symptoms which later developed into pneumonia. Miss Walker was airlifted to Ravenmore Hospital in Inverness, but died later last Friday. Tributes have poured in on social media. Bethany Walker, from Applecross, died after taking ill at home, initially from flu symptoms which later developed into pneumonia. Her mother Heather Teal wrote on Facebook, "My beautiful daughter Bethany Walker was taken from me yesterday, Jan 5. She had been suffering from a flu virus, which became pneumonia. She was airlifted to Ravenmore with me by her side yesterday morning, Jan 5, where she rapidly deteriorated. The staff in intensive care could not have done more. She was given the best possible treatment from a team of 8 people for over 2 hours. They tried everything possible, but sadly despite their best efforts she didn't make it." She added, "I am broken, the bottom has fallen out of my world. I have my mom with me, and my wonderful son Danny Walker, who are both feeling the same loss as I am." Miss Walker was airlifted to Ravenmore Hospital in Inverness, but died later last Friday. Tributes have poured in on social media. "Life will never be the same again. Bethany, I love you to the moon and back. I always have, and I always will. You were the best daughter I could have ever wished for, and I will always be the proudest mom in the world." "I have no more words. I'm truly devastated. Sleep tight, my beautiful girl. Your brother and I will love you forever. You will never be out of my thoughts, as long as I live." Among those paying his respects was TV adventurer Monty Halls, who lived on the Applecross Peninsula in 2008 for his Great Escape series. He wrote, "Heather, I am so sorry to hear this news. It is beyond comprehension. Words seem so completely inadequate. Every member of the film crew for Great Escapes remembers her so fondly, a total delight." My deepest condolences to you and your family. I know the entire team send their best wishes, their thoughts, and their love. Monty XXX. The Applecross in Facebook also paid its own special tribute. Farewell to dear Bethany, another fantastic member of our team who we sadly lost last Friday after a short illness. You were the belle of the ball at Hogmanay. And indeed everywhere. Such a tragic loss of someone so perfect in every way, so polite, such beauty, humor, fun, music and studies. Your pure pleasure as an employee. Loved by every member of our team, so much devotion and dedication to all you did. Bethany wanted to study midwifery and was due to head for Aberdeen University later this year. Scotland has seen cases of flu more than double in the past week and is now the worst affected nation in the UK, figures from Health Protection Scotland show. It is unclear how many flu deaths have occurred in the country already this winter, but it has one of the highest number of excess deaths in Europe. The term excess deaths is used when more deaths have occurred than expected, and the figure is calculated using data analysis from previous years. Scotland is considered to be the only country in the UK to be suffering from excess deaths. No data exists to pinpoint the exact number of deaths in either Wales or Northern Ireland. Figures show that for every 100,000 patients in Scotland, 107.3 have displayed influenza-like symptoms in their GP consultations. This is more than double the amount in Northern Ireland, 52.6, and almost triple that of Wales, 38.9. In contrast, England's rate is 37.3. The rocketing number of flu cases has been put down to a surge in two aggressive subtypes attacking the population simultaneously. One includes the so-called Aussie flu, a strain of influenza A which triggered triple the number of expected cases in Australia during the country's winter. Experts fear the virulent H3N2 strain, which has now reached the UK, could prove as deadly to humanity as the Hong Kong flu in 1968, which killed 1 million people. The other is a strain of influenza B, called Yamagata and Japanese flu, which has been blamed for the majority of cases so far this winter. Its rapid spread has raised concerns because it is not covered in a vaccine given to the elderly. Usually, just one subtype, either influenza A or B, is responsible for the majority of cases. It spreads easily in the cold weather. Of the 1,938 confirmed hospital cases of flu, 432 have been caused by H3N2. Some 199 were caused by H1N1, which triggered the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic that killed 50 million. A further 448 strains of influenza A were unidentified. The remaining 859 cases were caused by strains of influenza B, including Japanese flu, which usually produces less side effects, according to FI data. At this point last year, deemed week 2 by FI, just 497 people had been hospitalized by flu. However, this winter's outbreak shows no signs of slowing down, as flu cases are expected to rocket even further in the coming weeks. An analysis of data from week 1 shows the number of new cases each week is 9 times higher than that of 2015, when 296 were recorded. During that winter, government figures suggested the winter flu played a role in more than 16,000 deaths. Only 577 were recorded in the previous winter. The total recorded in week 51 is also more than double that of last year, when 684 cases, mainly of the H3N2 subtype, were reported. Peter Horby, professor of emerging infectious diseases and global health at Oxford University, believes this winter may well be worse than others. Speaking exclusively to Mail Online yesterday, Professor Horby said, generally H3N2 tends to be a bit more severe than the H1N1 in 2009. His comments came as a leading virologist predicted another cold snap will fuel the spread of H3N2 and kick cases into another orbit. Professor John Oxford, of Queen Mary University in London, exclusively warned that the killer virus spreads much easier when temperatures plummet. Forecasters believe the cold weather will continue, forcing adults to flock indoors and be surrounded by others, where they can catch flu easier. The sharp rise in flu is only expected to cause further problems for the NHS, with cases of the winter vomiting bug also continuing to soar. Latest figures show 2,551 people have been infected with norovirus since July. The figure has raised at a steady level week on week since October. Flu is also actively circulating in Ireland, with less than 10 people having lost their lives to the killer virus so far in this winter's outbreak. And in the US, the flu is already gripping 36 states and has killed at least 70 people in the US, according to data released by the CDC. Professor Oxford has also revealed he is keeping his fingers crossed as he fears the current epidemic in France could replicate itself in Britain. The European country has been rocked by an exceptional outbreak, with nearly 12,000 people having been left hospitalized in more than 30 days. Figures show the UK is heading the same way, with scientists concerned the flu causing havoc on the overstretched NHS is unpredictable. The Ministry of Health in France issued an alert about flu earlier this week, warning that the outbreak has still yet to reach its peak. It read, "The influenza epidemic is of an exceptional magnitude by the number of cases, which risks exceeding those of the last 2 years." The rocketing cases prompted Marisol Touraine, the country's health minister, to delay non-urgent operations to free up hospital beds. This controversial move was mirrored by Jeremy Hunt last week, with the NHS having been plunged into chaos amid a spike in flu cases. Mr. Hunt made Health and Social Secretary and Prime Minister Theresa May's cabinet reshuffle yesterday, made the unprecedented decision to cancel 55,000 operations. Experts have already warned of a double whammy of new cases as kids head back to school and swarms of travelers return from flu-hit France. No areas of the UK are believed to be free of the potentially fatal bug, which has forced GPs to cancel holidays and work late into the night. Australia, whose winter occurs during the British summer, had one of its worst outbreaks on record, with 2.5 times the normal number of cases. Some of the country's A&E units had standing room only after being swamped by more than 100,000 cases of the H3N2 strain. The elderly with their compromised immune systems are particularly susceptible, and a spike in cases among young children has also been shown. The flu season in the UK and the rest of the Northern Hemisphere tends to mirror what has happened in Australia and the Southern Hemisphere. The same strains of the virus will circulate north in time for the British flu season, which typically begins in November and lasts until March. Flu viruses are constantly changing proteins on their surface to avoid detection by the body's immune system, making it more deadly. This transformation is called an antigenic shift, if it's large enough, and can lead to a pandemic. However, it is slowly building up immunity. The new figures follow concerns by researchers that the jab may only be 20% effective this winter, just like last year. Some experts in Australia blamed this as a reason why they suffered such a severe flu outbreak. The vaccine used in the UK will be very similar. The who creates the vaccines in March, based on which flu strains they expected to be in circulation. They are then doled out in September. And health officials admitted this morning that a flu jab that has already been dished out to thousands may be targeting the wrong strain of the virus. He announced the trivalent vaccine, often used by GPs, because it is cheaper, is not effective against a common type of influenza B which is currently circulating. An analysis of 25 cases of influenza B revealed 21 of them have been caused by the B Yamagata type, which isn't covered by the cheaper jab. The admittance that the trivalent jab is ineffective follows the announcement of NHS bosses who stated the vaccine doesn't work for the over 75s. NHS England penned a letter to all GPs earlier this week warning the vaccine has showed no significant effectiveness in this group over recent seasons. Figures show 11 million people deemed at risk, including pregnant women, the over 65s and children under the age of 2, received the flu jab in 2016. Where can you get the flu jab? Flu can be a serious illness. If you become very ill with it, it can cause complications such as pneumonia, inflammation of the heart, brain or muscle, and kidney failure. People at most risk of serious illness or death, if they get flu, are offered the vaccine on the NHS. Ideally, you should have this before the end of December, when flu peaks. It takes about 2 weeks after the jab for antibodies to develop completely. At-risk groups include anyone aged 65 and over, people living in long-stay residential care homes, carers and pregnant women. The vaccine is also offered to anyone aged 6 months to 65 years with certain conditions, such as diabetes. It is available via your GP surgery. ALL children aged 2 to 11, on August 31, 2017, are also offered the vaccine as a nasal spray. The UK introduced the child vaccination program in 2013. Last year, the vaccine had 66% effectiveness. Australia does not have a similar program. If you don't qualify to have the jab on the NHS, you can pay to get it at a pharmacy. Well, pharmacy charges £9 to £14, depending on the number of strains in the vaccine. Superdrug for £9.99, Lloyd's Pharmacy £10, Boots £12.99, and Tesco £9. Older children who fall outside the NHS scheme can get the nasal spray vaccine from some pharmacies such as £23 for those aged between 2 and 18. This may involve a second dose at least 4 weeks later for another £23, and the injection for those 12 and over for £9. Boots offers the jab to those aged 16 and over at £12.99. Tesco offers it to those 12 and over at £9.